It's a brand new day, which means brand new set photos and videos for Spider-Man! Brand new day, and I got something to say. I might have just figured out another major character that could potentially be one of the main villains in the movie. Because y'all know me, if I get a little bit of crumbs and I start seeing some dots in the sky connect, I'm not only gonna make a 5-star meal, I'm also gonna get a brain blast. And I'm letting y'all know right now, this news really might shock you. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do, we gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, Spider-Man Brand New Day wrapped filming over the weekend in the UK, but not before they gave us some very interesting set photos and video. And again, can we just get our honorary moment to glaze the shit out of this suit because it is just perfect. Perfect down to every little detail. And not only do we have set photos and videos of Spider-Man still fighting that fucking tank, the meme potential here is just absolutely incredible. I swear to God, that's a Transformer. That's Brawl from the first Transformers movie. And you know what?
Sir, that tank thing's getting back up.
These things just don't die.
Because if I was getting dragged around the entire city of New York like a fucking ragdoll, I'd be pissed off too. But from the land vehicle to the air vehicle, don't forget we also got set photos of Michael Mando reprising his role as Matt Gargan, aka the Scorpion. And it looks like that's gonna be his getaway mobile, because we also got set photos of him looking like he's taking off his handcuffs on what I can only assume is the roof of the prison that he's being held in, where we also got photos of what looks like Spider-Man trying to web down the helicopter or try to keep it from lifting off, or potentially just fighting a bunch of inmates, including Matt Gargan himself before he escapes. Because there's also this very interesting set video we got where it looks like he's going through some mind games. Could it be like Insomniac Spider-Man where he gets stung by Scorpion and then he starts hallucinating?
If I was a mercenary dressed like a scorpion, where would I be?
Behind you!
Damn it! What did he inject me with?
I don't know, because it doesn't look like Matt Gargan is going to have his suit and Scorpion outfit yet. But what I find more interesting is in this next set video of what looks like Spider-Man. And this right here just tells me they understand Spider-Man's character and they're going to give us one of the best interpretations in live action of Spider-Man after this big-ass action fight scene. I don't know what's going on, but it's going to obviously take place throughout New York with him in the tank going to the fucking prison, having a fight scene at the prison, and then him checking in on civilians afterward. Take a look at this video. Now, I love this set video for like multiple different reasons. The first of which being the filmmaking aspect, because it looks like a one take of him checking up on civilians, assessing damage and helping where he can. Which leads me to point number 2. I absolutely love that Spider-Man is checking in on civilians and saving people aftermath of a big ass fight scene. He's his own department of damage control for real. But the third and most important reason why I made this video in the first place is him talking to what looks like a police detective. But I know that stride and walk anywhere. That's Liza Colon-Zayas, who, in case you forgot, was cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day like 3 months ago. And ever since she was cast, everybody and their mama thought that she would be playing Rio Morales, and this was an indicator that we were going to get Miles Morales in this movie and eventually in the MCU. I never bought into that rumor. I mean, it does make sense because she's Puerto Rican, but like, she's a little too old to be playing Rio, you know what I mean? And if they ever do introduce Rio Morales into the MCU, I feel like Rosalind Sanchez is the perfect casting for her. In case y'all need reminding, she's fine shit from Rush Hour 2. You know, when Jackie Chan was freaked out. Oh, slow down, baby. I love Snoopy too. Victoria's Secret, spin catalog, page 27. Girl got class. Another option that a lot of people, and myself included, thought could make a whole lot of sense was if she was just Mrs. Delmar. Since we got set photos of Peter wearing a Delmar's Deli shirt, it would make a whole lot of sense if he was working there. And if he was working there, it'd be a really funny dynamic to have her be his wife and him bring up the fact that he thinks his aunt's hot. Or maybe they wouldn't do that because she's 6 feet under. But without a doubt, what this set video confirms is that she's either a member of the Department of Damage Control or she's a detective for the police. Now, a fun spin that they could put on this is if she was playing Rio Morales, but like a version that's taking Jeff Davis's job, but that's just some MCU shit that they could do. I mean, look what they do with Ned Leeds. I would absolutely hate this, but I'm gonna throw it out there just because it's the MCU and they could do some shit like that. Then I started thinking maybe she could be Jean DeWolf. In case you don't know, I glaze the death of Jean DeWolf like crazy on here all the time just because I love when Peter David writes Spider-Man. And it's also one of the more mature takes on the character that I thoroughly enjoy. It's more of a detective noir type thing with Daredevil involved too. In case you're unfamiliar, Jean DeWolf is a detective for the police force who always had like a crush on Spider-Man that they never really acted upon, but she gets murdered by the Sin Eater. And it's a pretty fun story with a nice little twist. I would recommend reading it. I always preferred if they introduced a younger version of Jean DeWolf to have like as a love interest for Peter, and that way you can do a death of his love interest without retreading Gwen Stacy. But that's just me. But then I remembered the 1610, or the ultimate version of Jean DeWolf from Brian Michael Bendis' iconic run on Spider-Man, and it really got me feeling like she could be playing an adaptation of this version of Jean DeWolf. And this version of Jean DeWolf is actually a crooked cop. And you'll never guess who she works for. The Kingpin. And you'll never guess who kills her. That's right. What do you people call me? The Big Bad Punisher. Well, here I am. These fucking dots are starting to connect a little bit. Peter having a working relationship with a detective. Where have I seen this before? They really are just doing Insomniac Spider-Man PS4 in live action. I ain't mad at it though. But it looks like they're replacing Yuri with her. Wait a minute. Could she end up being one of the main villains and she's Wraith and they take that from Yuri? That'd be crazy. I wish they don't do that. Now, we could find out that she works for Fisk since we know that, you know, he has his own little group of corrupt cops in the AVT and shit. Or maybe she's doing work for Tombstone since we know that he's in this movie and he's probably trying to build up his criminal empire and try to become a rival to Kingpin. And when Punisher guns her down and kills her in front of Peter, that could make a whole lot of sense why they're at odds at first until Punisher has to tell him like, yo, she's not one of us. They not like us. So maybe she actually is like the main villain and it's just a secret. Or maybe she could be playing an adaptation of one of my favorite original characters from Marvel, in Terry Lee from the Spider-Man animated show. I always loved her dynamic with Peter in that show, and she actually had a very interesting relationship with Blade. Although I doubt they go this route. Or another fun option could be that Matt Gargan is actually building up his own criminal empire, and he's his own mob boss. So, you know, he's Latino in this, and she's Latina. She could be working for him under the table, which ultimately leads to our first live-action fight between Scorpion and Spider-Man. I need that more than I need air. But regardless, man, Spider-Man Brand New Day, the Spider-Man character in general just means everything to me. So every time we get little bits of news, I gotta talk about it and just yap from my knowledge. You know, this probably all won't come true, but I'm just loving it. I love being alive when Spider-Man's happening. So if you do too, let me know what you think about my thoughts, theories, and opinions down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.